Hey, good morning, guys. It is cold. We got, the weatherman said that, okay, we're going to have freezing rain. Well, we got that last night. And then we're going to have some snow. Well, this morning we woke up to this. A nice light dusting of snow. So anyway, that's nice. Yeah, it's nice to see snow for a change. Cover up some of the mud, because it's nothing but mud. But anyway, so today I'm hoping to get in some hiking. I didn't get in hardly anything yesterday. I got up on the hill, I took my hiking poles, got up on the hill, and crossed off a different way this time, because I just wanted to change of view, scenery, and started following my brother's four-wheeler path, and it started spritzing. And I was like, oh, for crying out loud. Come on. So I trekked it back as fast as I could. And by the time I got back to the shed, it was like, okay, it hasn't. So I hung a right, cut down through the field, and I went down through our first field and then came back up. So all in all, I got roughly about a 20-minute really brisk walk. So I'm over the moon about that and hoping so bad that by Sunday I am down to 136. Still shooting for that, because the Sunday after this I should be 134. Still trying to get those 2 pounds off a week. But anyways, it's hard when you got a funky thyroid and you can't see it because it's just sort of like inflates and deflates on it at will, but has a mind of its own. Someday it'll probably start talking to me. But no, I've got a goiter, and when I was in high school, it was overactive and I couldn't keep weight on me. Naturally, after 50, it goes underactive and you're like, great, now I can't get the weight off. So oh boy. Everybody who has thyroid problems know what I'm talking about. But I have it because of, I think it's a chemical called C8 that DuPont company poured into the Ohio River, and it got into all the water system and poisoned our water when I was in high school. And so all of us from my time in the 70s in high school, we all have thyroid. Almost all of us have thyroid problems. Some of them have thyroid problems and they don't even know it yet. But we all have that poison in our bodies. So Meigs County has one of the highest rates of thyroid cancer there is. So I've got nodules and stuff. Next month I go back to Holzer Clinic in Athens for another ultrasound on it and see how the nodules are doing. Because I've got some that they're a combination, and those are the ones you don't really want to have, or the ones that are liquids and solids all at the same time. So anyways, that's the main check on it. But the great part is not the ultrasound. I get to go to Joann Fabric. Yes, I am ready to go to Joann's, because then maybe I can get the right size needles that I need for this project, of which will be done and dusted long before then. But this is the baby, the Monster Friend baby Blankie. And this is it. And if it's blocked, if I block it, it would be, how much would that be if I blocked it? Oh, goodness. Something like, I think about 14 inches, maybe 14 and a half blocked by 14. But this is it. And I am absolutely crazy about the double moss stitch. I mean, look at that. I mean, is that gorgeous or what? And I love the way that it's got that diagonal pattern to it. And it just feels so neat. So I can't imagine, with the baby's sensitivity that they have to their hands, what this will feel like. All the different texture to it. And okay, so here's the thing about this pattern. Now, the pattern's supposed to be made with 10.5-inch circulars. Right. Okay. Now, a note on circulars. If you haven't used circular needles before, and I'm saying this because I was literally years before I ever used circular needles. Because one, to be honest, I found them intimidating. Don't know why. Maybe it's the long plasticky strap in the middle, but I really found them intimidating. So I didn't use them for a lot of years. But when you're working on something, even as small as this, if you have it on one needle, it really weights that needle down, and it puts unnecessary stress on your wrist and on your hand and on your shoulder even. So using circular, the weight stays in the center. So basically you can put the thing on the table and all the weight's on the table or on your lap, and it's going to be on your lap. And that stress is off your hands and fingers, your elbow, your shoulder, the whole lot. I mean, your arm just doesn't wear out that way. And it's really, really nice. I was trying to think, is there anything else on that one? No. Oh, so especially, by the way, guys, if you have arthritis like I do, it's also fantastic. I knit more with circulars than I do with anything. It almost doesn't depend on what the project is. I just like knitting with circulars because they really do make life so much easier. Okay, so anyways, so I knit, since I didn't have the 10.5-inch circs because Hobby Lobby didn't have them. This is, I know some of you have heard this before, but this is those who haven't seen the other videos. But Hobby Lobby didn't have them, so I used what I had, which is I didn't use what I had. I bought a number 11 16-inch. So US 11 16-inch. Every time I say numbers, they're all in US. I don't do metric. So anyway, when it came to doing the arms, it's like I am not going to do the arms using size 11s. Sorry, not going to happen. I switched off, and because I'm trying to conserve yarn, I guess, but I switched off, and I used these, which are US 9s, 36-inch, and it was perfect to do the Miracle Loop, of which up until last night I have hated. And the reason I've hated it is because your cheaper circular needles, that's another thing, cheaper circular needles, this plastic line is very thick and not flexy. You want a very bendy, flexy little line there, because you're gonna fold it and split the number. Like if you have 12 cast-ons, you're going to divide it 6 by 6, and then you're going to slide this up so that you have 6 stitches on one side and 6 stitches on the other, and pull them all the way up to the needles. And if you've got a real thick piece of plastic here, and it's not going to be flexible, it's not going to bend the way it needs to, it's going to damage, to me it damages the yarn as you're working on it, and it's just not worth it. So this, on the other hand, was just pure bliss last night. So anyways, that's what I used to make the little arm. But because I'm still new at it, I found out there was a few places along the way, you can see them even, where I didn't get that corner tight enough. So I had to pull this inside out and then go through and undo the damage a little bit. But it's nothing that's major important that's going to actually ruin this thing. By the time he's finished chewing on it, no one will even know anyway. So anyway, this is for a friend, and she doesn't really care. So it's just whatever. But anyway, so I got one arm done. Now, I had started out doing the Miracle Loop on the eye and the eye patch. And then right here, being a baby, I would, if I was making this for anything but a baby, I would put not a safety eye on, because it would come out the back, but I would put a button there. But being a baby, I'm not putting a button. I'm going to take black yarn and embroider an eye on there. So, but I was wrestling with this last night, and maybe it was because of the number of stitches and because I, knew it doing Miracle Loop, but I just couldn't get it, and I got so frustrated that it was like, forget you. So I pulled out my K crochet hook and I crocheted it, and I thought, I don't care, because you know what? That is really cool. I crocheted it in the back loop, because that's also another tip for those of you who may have arthritis. Crochet in the back loop. It takes the stress off of your hands when you're crocheting. But check that. That's more texture and more variety to the pattern. And so the eye will go there, the other eye will go there. Then I'll have a big smiley face going across here, and then the belly part will be down here. And then, of course, you've got the little legs that will be hanging off, and little ears coming up the top. And the ears, I think, are going to be in the apricot. I have to check again. And then the little arms, so it's going to be pretty cute. And I was sort of like in between on the arms anyway. Because if you make the arms super loose or long, when babies are flapping around, I mean, it can go boom right in the eyeball. And that's going to end up with the baby crying. So, even though it's a nice little pat, it's still, the speed a baby can shake something, I just don't want them to hurt their little eyes. So I thought, well, shorter arms to me make more sense than using longer arms. And I could be wrong with that. It's been a very long time since I was a baby anywhere in the vicinity of the farm. About 5 years, actually, because I forgot about my great-nephew. But anyways, they're easy to forget about sometimes. So anyway, that's where I'm at on it. I'm going to focus fully on that today and get that done. And then that will be it. But remember again, this is the pattern from Rebecca Danger out of her Knit a Monster Nursery, something like that. I don't have my, yeah, I do. Here we go. Let me check again on that. I'm sorry. Crazy morning. When I woke up, the alarm went off this morning. Gee whiz. Make up your mind. When the alarm went off this morning, the electric went off as well, because AEP decided, hey, let's shut the electric off while everybody's getting ready for school and work. Doesn't that make sense? So, yeah. I'm sure that went over well with a lot of parents. Knit a Monster Nursery. I was right. Yes, by Rebecca Danger. You can see the link down below. And by clicking on the link, yes, I'm an Amazon associate, and yes, I do make a little bit off of it. And I mean a little bit. I think 4% off of the sale. That's a lot. But anyway, you can get her book as a hard copy. You can also get it as an ebook for Kindle. And if you look down, you may find it even cheaper from other sellers and stuff. But it is so worth getting. And at some point, I'll probably do a book review on it. I know I am going to on another book that I've got. Which one was it? Oh, the Hip Knit Hats. I am going to do a book review on it. In fact, I was scheduled to do it today, but I think I'm going to transfer that to Monday because of needing to work on this, and Shabbos starts, still fairly early, and I do want to get up on the hill and get some hiking in. Got to get that weight off, folks. So anyways, I will catch you all later. Have a super great weekend. Thank you to the new subscribers. Almost forgot. And that's just because you guys didn't have your name up so I could write your name in my guest book. But anyway, thank you so much for subscribing. That really means a lot. And just have a super great weekend. Bye-bye.